What's going on, guys, and welcome back. So it is still Ursula's Return release week, and that means we have another deck to go over. We got a couple replays of Ruby Song. So we're going to take advantage of the 2 aerial cards, obviously the 3-drop that can search out songs, and then the 4-drop who could play your Be Prepared as early as turn 5. She's a 4 cost, so then, I guess if you play Pluto or Lantern, you could potentially tutor her out on turn 3, meaning you could play Be Prepared on turn 4. However, we're not playing those cards, so Be Prepared on turn 5 for us. We're against a Ruby Sapphire variant. And as always, guys, right now everyone is in the lab. Everyone is testing all kinds of stuff to see what works, what cards they like, what they can come up with. So take that with a grain of salt. We have our Song to see their hand. We have our Queen. We have our Ariel. And we have a Maui that I'm okay keeping, especially because he's ink in worst case scenario. We don't live and die by hitting the 2 cost or the shift 2 Queen. We do draw into a Be Prepared. We also have our King Undisputed. I want to go ahead and see his hand. So Eric, Jasmine, Mufasa, and double Dragonfire. It looks like he's playing a very aggressive build. Everything there was questing for multiple, but he's got 3 uninkable cards in his hand, and we're pretty good because he needs to ink for 2 turns before he can play at a minimum. So the Mufasa goes, meaning he still has the Bell. We can go ahead, ink the Queen, play the Ariel, see what we hit. I already have a Be Prepared. I just want ink at this point, so we're going to go for that World's Greatest Criminal Mind. And we do have, as you can see in our hand, that 4 cost Ariel as well, which means we're going to be able to sing, say, Be Prepared if we want, but we also have the King to deal with a higher quester if he gets it out sooner. So he does come down with the Prince Eric, and I do make a misplay here coming up. However, we're just going to have to deal with that. We ink the World's Greatest Criminal Mind, sing with the Ariel, sing with the Queen. Can't even talk right now. Or not sing, quest with each of them. I shouldn't have quested with Queen, because if he crashes into the Ariel, he doesn't get the 2-for-1 trade-off because Ariel would survive it. And if he quests, I could take Ariel into his Prince Eric, and it would be a 1-for-1, whereas he got the 1-for-2 trade-off. So he just kind of benefited a lot there. We know there's still a Dragonfire, another Prince Eric, and then the Bell in his hand at this point. We can get rid of the Queen of Hearts. We're going to play our bigger Ariel, and then pass turn. I want to see what he's going to do if he's able to commit to the board a bit more. Another Maleficent does come down. So now I'm like, okay, we also draw into another Ariel. I'm like, do we do the King? I was really debating it. I'm like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and do the King. I'm not going to have any way to really remove a threat. Never mind. Can't even talk about that. We have the Maui in our hand. We absolutely have a way to remove the threat. We just happen to sing the song and hit the wrong Maleficent. We should have taken out the Maleficent that was readied, and then played Maui, and Maui take out the other Maleficent, which would put us into a very good position. So we did have a couple misplays. Let It Go comes down. That's okay because both of our characters are essentially the same. I don't need 2 of them out, but they do quest for 2, so I understand why our opponent did it. Then a Prince Eric comes down onto the board. We draw into Little Ariel. Maui's going to go ahead and take out that Maleficent that we should have did last turn, and then we're going to quest for 2. At this point, I don't really want to overcommit to the board because Prince Eric is going to get some pretty good advantage. He takes out our Maui, and then he's going to take out the Ariel. We do still Be Prepared, though. We have Ariel, we have Goofy, too, so the Bell does come down, and he still has Dragonfire in his hand. We draw into our own Prince Eric now, so that's actually pretty good, because if he wants to try to quest or put another character down now, we can get our own 2-for-1 trade-off. We're going to go ahead also and go and play our Ariel. I'm like, you know what, having 2 Be Prepared isn't going to be a bad thing. So we wait to see what our opponent's going to do. And he could just Dragonfire the Prince Eric after questing, and then kind of force us to just get the 1-for-1 trade-off, but it's still basically a 1-for-2 trade-off because he uses that Dragonfire in his hand if he decides to do that. So it may seem like, okay, I'm going to do this and force it. However, he does get to dictate it, and it's like he gets to force it on the Dragonfire. So if he has like another Mufasa or Maleficent or a big 3-quester, he doesn't lose that character as well. He Dragonfires the Ariel instead of the Prince Eric, which also makes sense because is Prince Eric going to just challenge into his Belle and take her out, or do I quest and let him kind of play his hand out and see how it goes? We draw a queen, so we're going to go ahead and play her down, put our Prince Eric down, because there's no point in just going into the Belle and just going 1 for 1. I want to get the maximum value out of it. The only downside is if he plays, say, a Let It Go, which we already saw him ink one, it means our Prince Eric will go to the inkwell, not get banished, and then not resolve, and that is exactly what happens. But we do have 2 Be Prepareds in hand. Pongo comes down, we draw a queen. I'm like, okay, we're going to quest with our queen, take a 9-5 lead, and then just Be Prepared the board away and take it down. We're now top decking. Maleficent comes down. That's pretty good. I'm like, okay, I know they're both rush. Do we just pass and leave it in our hand, make them feel safe? And then Mufasa also comes down, and by passing, because they both have rush, we allow ourselves to come back with a Be Prepared now and take out both characters. We still have a 9-8 advantage. We don't have enough ink to play anything else. Our opponent passes turn, we draw Teeth, which is actually pretty good with Ariel, and then we miss on her songs, however, so that is unfortunate, but we do have 2 characters who attack for 2. Goofy gains us lore and has rush. Well, Teeth isn't going to do anything against Cogsworth, but we're still in an okay spot. We draw into another Goofy, and I'm like, okay, now if we can just put one of our characters down, we have enough ink to play 2 of them, so I didn't want to, like, now we can come back and clean take out the Cogsworth. However, the Medusa comes down, takes out our Ariel. That's actually okay at this point. It's not a big deal at all. We draw into another queen, so now we can go ahead, gain 2 lore, hit the Cogsworth, play the other Goofy, gain 2 more lore, hit the Cogsworth, and then the queen finish him off. So then we will be sitting at 14-10 with a pretty decent advantage on board. Goofy being able to just crash into something and gain you 2 lore is very strong. Also having the 4 willpower is pretty good because his 2 strength is a little underwhelming. He takes 1 out with his Medusa. However, we can just Goofy into the Medusa and gain 2 lore if he doesn't Dragon Fire us. Luckily, we do have Queen of Hearts, so we can go ahead quest and take her out. And on the comeback, we do have Medusa, who can go ahead and take out most things, but not that thing. So we do have Hey Hey in hand too. That's actually not going to help us here. We play Hey Hey and pass turn. So I do need to come up with a way to get rid of that Tigger soon. Teeth isn't going to be able to do it either. And then he puts a Belle down. Luckily, the Medusa will take out the Belle, so we're sitting okay there. We can quest with the Hey Hey, and now we at least have 2 for 2 on board, where we're getting our lore equally, and we are a turn ahead. So we're in an okay spot until that. So another Tigger comes down. We draw into a B King Undisputed, which is really good for us. It means we can take out one of those Tiggers once again. And like I said, we're just ahead that 1 turn if we can keep him down. So next turn, if we didn't have that Maui, if we had another character, obviously I'd be sitting a lot better, but he would still just attack with his Tigger. He comes down with a Phil and a Manor. So we have Teeth, we can take out Phil. We have Maui, we can take out Manor. He's going to quest to 16. He can go to 18. I'm going to go to 18 myself. And then I'm like, we boost the Medusa. We can put 5 down. Not that we needed to, because 6 plus 4 is 10 anyway. So we take out the Manor. We're sitting with enough on board to win the game. We are going to go ahead and just Teeth our Maui, because why not? He doesn't quest anyway. Take out the Phil, so our opponent is forced to take out our Hey Hey. Because if he takes out the Medusa, we both lose characters. Whereas if he takes out the Hey Hey, he's probably sitting a little bit better. Plays the 1 jump ahead, and then once, like obviously expected, takes out the Hey Hey. We draw into another B King. So this card is crazy. This card is so good. Ruby gets all of the good cards, I swear. Medusa to 19. Our opponent draws. Can he deal with our board? I don't think there's, I mean, if he Be Prepared, I guess it would buy him a turn. However, it does not happen. So we did get another game against him. We get to go first this time. We have Minnie, Goofy, Queen, the other one, Bare Necessities, Lady Tremaine, and the trifecta of our queens. I'm like, I actually really like our hand, but we're going to get rid of Queen. I want to see her later in the game, not this early. I also don't want to see Be Prepared this early. Knowing what he's on, I don't feel the need to keep Bare Necessities, but we kept it as ink because I was like, I got a 1 play, a 2, a 3, a 4. I really liked the curve of my hand. So we're going to go ahead and get our Queen down early and then just quest for 2 and start to be the aggressor. I felt like Queen was going to be really good in this matchup because he has a lot of characters with like 6 defense, and her 4/4 boost means we can take them out while not getting damaged ourselves. So now we get to quest for 4 in a turn, and we're really putting the pressure on our opponent. They're more of an aggro build, but we're being the aggressor, putting this down. And we do have 2 characters with Rush still in our hand, so we don't even have to necessarily deal with them with our other characters. We could say quest with Queen, or put our character down first. Like put your Queen of Hearts or your Goofy down first, quest with Queen, boost it, and then he has the Rush to be able to take them out. We have an early 8-0 lead. Be Prepared, King in our hand. I really feel like I'm in a good spot here. As long as our opponent doesn't say ramp into a Be Prepared before we can, we'll be sitting pretty all right. We draw another Be Prepared, and just like we were talking, Queen, quest, -4, +4. Take out the Mickey, go to 12, and then quest and go to 16. Or sorry, 14. He needs to do something, but I really don't think there's anything that he can do. If he quests with Mickey, we win on our turn. He has to take out one of our 3 characters, otherwise the game is essentially over. I think our opponent is trying to go through and see what he has, what he can do. Even in a... sorry. Madame Medusa comes down, that'll help. I was going to say Let It Go would have helped too. Potentially, if you don't have another Let It Go, I would have kept that, however, because you could play it next turn to try to survive one more turn. So he quests. We can still go to 18, though, and be in a really good spot. So we go to 18. Well, we're going to take out the Mickey, and we're still threatening lethal, and we can go ahead take out the Medusa, so we don't have to worry about him challenging us. And at that point, our opponent does concede the game. So let's go ahead and jump into the deck list. Here we are, or, well, kind of. Here we are. So obviously price doesn't matter right now because we don't have all the updated prices of the new cards just yet. 15 uninkables. We really hit the 4s hard, but otherwise it's a pretty even curve almost across the board. Playing 15 songs to 45 characters. Playing 4 Hey Hey. So why Hey Hey? I didn't really like a lot of the 1-drops for this build, and I felt like Hey Hey with the support was actually okay, because Hey Hey can even give his attack to your opponent. So for things like World's Greatest Criminal Mind, sometimes if they have 4, like a Medusa, you can give them that extra 1 and then take them out with your World's Greatest Criminal Mind. So he just had that little bit of utility. Whereas, say, Cinderella, I felt like wasn't going to be too important. I mean, we do have 3 Bare Necessities, and you'll see the Teeth and Ambition, which she can sing those. But if she sings Teeth and Ambition, she kills herself. So I didn't want that. So essentially, I was like Cinderella for playing the... we just said it, the Bare Necessities. I could see playing it and doing it, but I wanted to try Hey Hey out, and I don't know, I felt like he was actually decent. But you could definitely play Cinderella in this spot to sing your Bare Necessities, or if you really need to, sing your Teeth and Ambition. Obviously your 4 queens. We have 4 Queen of Hearts. Rush was a big thing with this deck too. Sing songs, get down big characters, and just deal with the opponent's board and control the board. We're not playing the steal songs to do it, so we played Rush and Removal instead. 4 aerials, obviously you're going to sing your song, or search your songs to sing your songs. 3 Minnie's just really good. 4 of the new Ariel, the Singing Mermaid, because she's a 7 singer, which is actually really, really good. Again, you play your aerial turn 3, add your Be Prepared, turn 4, and then turn 5 you can sing the Be Prepared. We also then have Rapunzel. We're playing 3 of her, just a little draw engine, multi-quester, 5 willpower, stuff like that. Goofy's crazy. This card is really good. I can't really say enough about it. I really, really like this card. 2 Prince Eric, because we're on Teeth, so I figured he's applies an awkward presence to your opponent to deal with, and with Teeth and Ambition you can just kind of abuse him a little bit more. 4 Queens, 4 Mauis, because again we want to deal with our opponent's board, so we're playing a lot of rush characters. 2 Lady Tremaine, and 3 Madame Medusas, just to again control the board, deal with our opponent. So our songs, we have 3 Bare Necessities, 2 Teeth and Ambition, 2 World's Greatest Criminal Minds, and then 4 Be King Undisputed. This card is so good, and 4 Be Prepareds. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you like this deck? Do you think this deck's going to see any success or play? I don't know, but it's fun and it's different, so we're going to keep on messing with it. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, take care.